Welcome to the World of Art TV. Today we have an exciting show for you. I'm your host, Judy Mario.
And I'm Ruthie Moeller, your co-host.
And we have a fabulous guest today. Her name is Merle Blair Williams. And Merle was a founder of the City Lights Art Gallery in Henderson and very active in Boulder City Art Gallery for a long, long time. And she is very interesting.
Yep, she really has been so instrumental in kind of keeping the arts in Henderson alive.
Oh, yes.
And really making sure that artists have places to go and to be. And so she's really, you know, an important part of our Henderson art world.
She definitely is. And so we're going to be also having a demonstration on how to paint a shoe with Ruthie Moeller, no less, because Ruthie's great at all the different types of artwork that she does, and we just decided we better share some of that with you.
Yeah, great. We're excited to, well, I'm excited to show you more about how to do the shoes, but yeah, you should see my garage. I've got so much art stuff. You know, when you can't pick your art, you've got like watercolors and shoes and acrylics and oils and sculpting and face painting. Yeah,
yeah.
I've got a messy garage.
I think all of us artists do. We all have messy garages. I'm always afraid to open my garage door that my neighbors are going to say they think I should move.
I know, or they think you're moving because like all the boxes. Like, when are you going to unpack? I went, I did.
That's funny. That's funny. Well. No. Join us in just a couple of minutes. We're going to have a quick break, and we'll be with Merle Blair Williams.
Perfect.
Is life so hectic that you just don't have time to get all those projects around the house completed? Well, worry no more. Tinker's Handyman Service is here and ready to help you. Tinker's is a company you can depend on to be honest and reliable. What sets us apart from other companies? It's simple. We care. Our reliable staff will help you with drywall repair, painting, popcorn ceiling removal, laminate and engineered wood flooring, also accent walls, crown molding, baseboard installs, cabinet and door repair, minor electrical and plumbing repairs, and more. Visit Yelp to see rave reviews from our satisfied customers. Call or text us today at 702-445-4812 for a fair and honest free estimate. Let Tinker's Handyman Service give you the free time you deserve. That number again is 702-445-4812. We're waiting for your call.
Hi, and welcome back. We are so fortunate today that we have a lady who's kind of a legend in the Las Vegas area in the art world, Merle Williams, and it was Merle Blair, so it's Merle Blair Williams now. Welcome. We're so glad to have you here.
We're really glad, and my goodness, you've been like in everything and done everything. You know all the artists in town. How did you get started?
When I retired from my nursing career, I started in the art world out in Boulder City, and then the city of Henderson said if we could get a group together and start a co-op or a guild, they would get us a building. Nice. And that's when I learned all kinds of things about starting a business that I had never done before. And so my name is still on stuff crops up all the time. Where did that come from? And that was back in 2003, so I've been busy for a long time.
Oh yeah, because you've been very active in the Boulder City Guild and in the Henderson, in the City Lights Gallery. You've been very, very active in both.
Yes. Not with Boulder City now for quite some time because my former husband was very ill and I couldn't do both of them. But of course, City Lights has always been my baby because I did so much work to get it started that I always come back to it.
Let's take a look at some of Merle's work. I love the one of you with the little girl.
Oh.
So tell us a little bit about that painting.
The one with the little girl?
Yeah.
Of the little girl.
Well, you were standing.
I was going to say, did I paint me with the little
girl?
No,
of the little girl.
You painted the little girl, but you were standing next to it in one of my photographs. I'm sorry.
Oh, okay.
I didn't make that real clear, did I?
I like to do portrait work, and children have always been one of my favorite things to do. And I was at Costco one day, and these were a bunch of little girls different families all eating, you know, those monstrous big hot dogs.
Yes.
And so I discussed with their parents if I may take pictures and
That's
what
great.
I was going to use them for. And that's how I got to paint little girls.
Oh, that was such
That's
a
nice.
great picture. I
Yeah.
really, really like it. Now, you do something else very unique. You paint on leather.
Yeah.
And so, could we look at some of those? I think you brought a couple with
I
you.
did. This,
Yeah.
this one,
Wow.
That is amazing.
And this is leather. Can I touch it?
yes, you can. Uh-huh.
Oh my goodness. I would have never guessed there was cow under there.
Now, is that
amazing.
is that oil? Because
Yes.
you paint predominantly in oil, right?
Predominantly. I haven't tried acrylic on oil. On leather. I have still got some leather, but I haven't done any in a long time. A friend of mine who used to make cowboy stuff, you know, chaps and what have you, when he went out of business, he gave me a bunch of leather, and I have to do something with it.
Right.
So I painted on it.
That's fantastic.
And what inspired this particular painting?
Oh, I think it probably was some season.
Fourth of July.
Yeah,
That's
maybe.
what it says to
Or
me.
This is Screaming Eagle.
It's screaming patriotism.
Yes.
So at some point, did you feel very patriotic, or was it more for an event?
I do not remember.
Okay.
You got it.
Let's see the other one.
Yeah.
Yeah, that you brought.
Gonna-
You want me to put that over
I
here?
can put it right back. So we got it.
This is a different type of leather. This is a rough leather,
Oh yeah.
and it lent to kind of a shaggy bear.
Mm-hmm.
And this is the paws that refreshes.
The paws, P-A-W-S. I like
Right.
it.
Now,
Yeah,
is it
refreshes.
more difficult to paint on the shaggy leather? I know
Yeah.
it's a lot softer feel, but I kind of like it. I like a softer feel, and certain paintings would definitely lend themselves to that, but it was more difficult.
Yes, because it's like hair.
Right, and so
Because it's
you're
rough.
painting right
Yeah,
on
You
hair.
can see the roughness.
Yes.
So it was like hair. And
And it's still soft. That's what's amazing, is it's not like thick and painty. It's very soft.
yeah, I just kind of rubbed it in. The leather absorbs no matter what kind of leather you're using, except if it's a polished leather. I've done one piece on that, and I didn't like it.
How it worked out.
No, it was like painting on glass almost. You have to
All right.
really layer carefully. You have to layer this too because it soaks it up.
Now, do you treat it in any way other? I mean, how do you fix it or prepare
Oh,
it?
I put a little bit of varnish on it.
Okay. All right.
Not a lot.
Before or after?
After.
After you painted.
But before, you just kind of used the raw leather. So that's interesting. Okay.
It's leather that's been prepared for someone to use for sewing.
Like a jacket
Or-
or yeah,
yes.
that type of thing. Purse.
Yes.
So yeah. Well, this would look great on a purse.
You would carry a purse like
I
that.
would. I like.
Yeah.
I like artsy purses.
Well, it's an artsy bear.
Yeah.
Maybe that's his name. I don't.
Artsy bear. He is very cool.
That was reminiscent of fishing up in Alaska, where the bears get out in the streams, and there was a bear upstream from where we were fishing, and so.
That's cool. So what came first? All the excitement to organize artists, or actually doing the art? I'm going to put this down by you again.
Oh, I've always painted a little bit, you know, but when I was working, I didn't do as much because I painted in oils, and that takes more cleaning, and so you get home from work, you don't feel like
You
doing it.
painted as
Right.
a child, though, didn't you?
I did. I had a neighbor who was an artist, and I lived on a farm out in the country. We had a rural school program, and she was a retired teacher, and she illustrated the books that went out to the rural schools
Oh, cool.
for these radio programs.
Wow.
And you'd listen to a radio program at school, and then you'd paint for or draw. Or I used to use
Yeah.
crayons back then.
Yeah.
No, not that I was that young. It was just my choice of medium.
Right. I get it. I get it.
And then they would get sent in to the city to be looked at, and she would write little notes on it. Well, I live next door to her. So one year, myself and another girl, we helped do the illustrations for the next year's program.
That's
incredible.
so fun.
It was.
And it had to be fun, and I'm sure you got a lot of good inspiring tips from your neighbor.
She painted, she was a watercolorist, and she painted like it was acrylic. She was not wishy-washy.
Like in wishy-washy watercolors?
Yeah, wishy-washy watercolor. Yeah, and you know, that was many, many years ago, and my sister still has a couple pieces of hers and I have just a little tiny one, and she's been gone many, many, many years, but.
So the art came first.
Yeah.
And then, which comes more natural to you, the art or the organization of the artists and the promotion of artists?
That's hard to say because I was a boss when I was in nursing. And 64 employees, and big budget, and yes.
So you knew how to organize.
Yeah, it's been.
So.
And even before that, before I went in nurses training, I worked in retail for 6 months. So.
You're very left brain, right brain.
Yeah, I can do.
Whole brain.
Whole brain.
Yeah, I'm a
she
whole
does
brain.
whole
That's
brain
right.
thinking.
Got the creative side, but you've also got that organizing, logical side, which probably allows you the capability to do your books and figure out your pricing and all of that kind of stuff, which a lot of our random creatives have a harder time with if they're not on that logical line, right?
Yeah, I'm very logical.
So how do you price your work? Because that's a
I've
question.
gone through a lot of different theories on how to do it. Square inches, hours, which you can never use because paintings can take forever or come out just right away.
Right.
Just what I think somebody will
Pay.
like the price, yes.
Okay.
I think pricing is one of the biggest challenges that artists have.
Absolutely,
is figuring out
it
how
is.
to price their work where they can make a living with
But
it.
also not come out looking like a novice and undersell and change the art world of pricing, but not overprice based on their maybe lack of experience, right? There's a little wiggle there.
Yeah, I think that I try to remember what type of gallery we are and where we're situated.
Right.
And we're not down on the strip. If I had my art in a gallery and I was that inclined to be that ambitious, I would price higher.
Yeah.
But,
okay.
you know, I know some people, it's difficult to sell their artwork because they put such a lot of hours and time into it that they become like their children. You can't get rid of them.
Right.
I love them, but I'm very happy when somebody also loves them and takes them home. I sold a painting at my reception. Yes, I was very
That's
happy.
exciting. It's always exciting when you sell a piece of work, right?
Yeah,
That was a beautiful reception. You had a lot of people there.
I did.
Probably the most people I've seen at a reception in quite a long time. So
That's great.
it's nice to know that not only did your friends come out, but a lot of artists came out to see your work as well.
They did.
But I think people know who you are, and so they want to support you and be there for you.
Well, and you've clearly supported them in keeping the gallery going and creating ongoing events. And what are we looking forward to in the next year of City Lights?
Well, September 22nd, this fall, we're going to be doing Art Train again. I think this is like our 4th time, and it's such a fun event. And our Judy is going to be our bartender.
I'm the bartender this year.
Oh, I'm so jealous.
Well, you can come be bartender
Okay,
too
I'll help
if you want.
Yeah.
And I'm going to sell raffle tickets.
Awesome.
Yes.
So the
And-
bartender and the raffle ticket
Well,
sale.
the art train is really fun because we go to Boulder City and we get on the train, and there's art hanging in every car on the train, and there's all kinds of hors d'oeuvres and bartending, and then the train moves. So if you're not there, by the time the train goes, you're not going to be
left off the train.
Yeah, but last year we left a few people on the platform because they thought, oh, the train just sits there. They didn't realize the train actually moves. It's a trip
You got to
up
get it
and
go
down.
on. Yeah.
They go back and forth because it's not a long trip. And we raffle off prizes during that, and we have a really nice extra raffle. This year we're raffling off a cruise to Cabo San Lucas.
Woo! Is that an
Yes.
art cruise?
No. Well, I'm sure you can make it because every cruise I've been on, they've got art. So.
It's true. I agree. There's always a class of some sort, right?
Yeah, and there's always music. We have a band on the train, and it's really a fun
So
event.
September 22nd?
Yes, this year.
Which is a Saturday.
Okay.
Saturday evening.
Yeah, the train
And-
leaves at 6 p.m. sharp, so get on the train at 5:30, and you can buy tickets online at, let's see, citylightsartgallery.com. I think, please don't quote me.
Well, we'll try to find out and post it. So
Yeah.
that's an important event, and it sounds like it's just a lot of fun.
And this is one of our major fundraising events at the gallery because our money goes to scholarships for
Young artist.
young artists that are going into college programs.
That's phenomenal.
And
yeah,
we
super cool.
We have given out, since we started this program, I think it's $17,000 or $18,000.
Wow, that's amazing.
And it's wonderful to support young artists. If you go by the gallery, sometimes we'll have a whole show of elementary schools students' artwork or various other artists as well. But back to you.
Yes.
What's your favorite thing to paint?
I think that I would like to get back into portrait work. That I'm always so pleased when I get the person's, oh, that looks just like.
Yeah,
And
when you have the essence of that person.
I recently did one on my husband, and everybody just really admires it. And I hadn't done any portrait work for a while, so I am so happy that it came out well. And he said, "You cannot sell this. It goes in the house."
That's cute that he liked it that well.
Yes.
Now, is there a place on the face that you find if you change it, it changes the look of the person more than other places?
The eyes.
The eyes, always the eyes.
In fact, I usually paint the eyes first.
Interesting. Just to make sure they're there.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think the eyes have the expression, and so therefore when you paint the eyes, the rest of the face kind of comes together, doesn't it? It's like,
it does, yeah.
if you get the eyes right, everything else sort of fits in.
You have to make sure you have those proportions right. The distance between the eyes can make a big difference.
Huge. And how deep set they are. Yeah.
And once in a while, you get a painting in which, no matter where you sit, the person is looking at you.
Yeah.
And I don't know exactly how
that
happens, but it did on this one I just did. And another one that I am very proud of is a painting of Jesus that I did that's in my church. And no matter where you sit, he looks at you.
Jesus is watching.
Yes, he
Wow.
is.
But didn't you do
scary.
a whole series for a church?
Yes, actually there's 17 paintings in St. Paul's Charismatic Episcopal Church, which is on Taylor Street, right downtown in Henderson. And I did 14 Stations of the Cross, and the Resurrection and the Ascension, and this big picture of Jesus. So
Nice.
my own private art gallery.
So if you want to go see the more religious works, that would be the place to go to see your work there.
Yes,
And what
That's
church
nice.
is that?
St. Paul's Charismatic Episcopal
And that's in Henderson, downtown Henderson.
on Taylor Street, right
Oh.
across from Walmart on Lake
okay.
Mead.
All right, that should be pretty easy to find. We all know
Sure.
where Walmart is.
Yeah.
right?
Yeah,
Yes.
especially and Robert Taylor Elementary is the school right behind that, correct? I would guess.
You would have to guess better than me because I never had
I'm
children.
just putting Taylor
so
to
I do
Taylor
not
and Taylor.
know school.
You don't know. Me either.
I actually taught at Robert Taylor Elementary one year.
Oh, did you really?
Yeah, believe it or not.
Yes, teachers have an ins on schools.
Yeah, well, and especially when you teach there one year. That was a crazy school, so. But it was a good one. I mean, there was a lot of good kids there, so, yeah. Anyway, it has been absolutely wonderful having you here and sharing all of your work, not only in the art area, but in all of the organizing and helping other artists get their work out, which is just truly amazing.
That is one of the reasons I was so excited about so many people coming to my reception. Isn't just my work, but for them to see the work of all the people there. And because we have amazing artwork.
Yeah, City Lights has beautiful artwork and
some cool artists.
Really beautiful original art at really decent prices. I mean, you can get a bargain there, and one day it's going to be worth a lot more than it is now. I know I bought a painting there a few years ago for $300, and I sold it for $1,000. Yeah,
you little art trader.
Yeah, I know people talk about how art may not be an investment anymore, but I find a lot of the art out there is extremely good.
Yeah, I do too, and especially as people make stories about themselves, right? So Merle and her story, someday her art's going to be super valuable. Find the leather ones.
Oh, the leather ones I'm excited about.
I know, right?
Yeah.
I have sold quite a few of them, so if anybody's watching this, they can know that their leather is unique.
And it's going to be worth something.
Yeah. And so, Merle, please tell our viewers where they can contact you.
Always at City Lights Art Gallery, which is downtown Henderson at 3 East Army Street. And I am, I'm not.
You're not?
I'm on Facebook.
Good.
Are
you on Facebook by Merle Williams or Merle Blair or Merle Blair Williams?
Merle Williams.
Merle Williams.
Yes.
Great.
And I don't have a website.
But you will soon.
I'm working on it.
Good girl.
Yes, I'm working on it. Let's see, what else? Oh, I'm on Fine Art America under Merle Blair.
And that's a great place to buy art because you can get the art put on just about anything there, right?
I like the mouse pads.
Mouse pads, shower curtains, iPhone covers. I mean, it's amazing what you can do.
Yeah, they've really gone way out.
So look for Merle on fineartamerica.com, right? Yeah. That's a wonderful place. So thank you for being here today. We've enjoyed having you with us again, and it's always a pleasure.
Thank you. I love you both. So.
Oh, well, thank you. Can't wait to see you on Art Train.
I'm looking forward to it.
We both are too. We'll be at the bar.
Yeah.
Of course we're working.
Yeah, of course.
Well, I'll visit you.
Oh, good. Thank you. And thank you for joining us today. We'll be right back.
The golf store you've been waiting for is now open. Bob Allen Golf is ready to help you take your game to the next level. Bob Allen Golf is located at 6415 South Fort Apache, Las Vegas 89148. Choose your favorite clubs from our selection of Bridgestone, Callaway, Cleveland, XXIO, Srixon, Ping, Wilson, and more. We'll custom fit them in our state-of-the-art full-swing golf simulator. Come hang out with us and practice on our putting green to find out which club is perfect for you. Have your clubs repaired, reshafted, and regripped in our on-site tour shop. And talk about accessories. Guys and gals will feel comfortable and look sharp in the many sizes, colors, and options of apparel from Greg Norman, Black Clover, Under Armour, and more. The team at Bob Allen Golf takes your game as seriously as you do. Join our online family at boballengolf.com and stop in the store to meet us. Remember, at Bob Allen Golf, your game is in the bag.
Welcome back. We're getting ready to do one of our demos, and I think you're really going to enjoy this one. Ruthie is going to be showing you how to paint shoes. And here's some shoes that she's already painted. In fact, they've already been worn quite a bit because the person she painted them for absolutely loved them. And you can see that they look like playing cards.
Yep, they were actually my son's shoes, and if you notice here, There's like even a hole in it. So
We love the shoes.
The art outlasted the shoes. So that's the good news.
But they look exactly like playing cards. They're absolutely beautiful.
That's what he likes. He's a little poker dealer here
So
in
now
town,
you're going to show us how to do this.
Right. So you can use almost any kind of acrylic paint. And there's actually a lot of fabric painting products out on the market, but I don't think you should invest in, and we've talked about this before, but my garage is just crazy full of too many products. So this is just another way for me to like consolidate and not have so many products. So the first thing I'm going to show you is I'm going to take a shoe and I'm just going to dip some water and use a toothbrush and just kind of do a little scrubbing, because when you get a new shoe, it comes with a little coating, and that coating kind of prevents the paint from going on. So that's the first thing.
So it's not to clean the shoe, it's just to get rid of the coating.
It's kind of just to get rid of that little coating. It does also moisten the shoe a little bit so that the paint will kind of go in just a little bit better. When you're done painting the shoe, you want it to be hot a little bit, put it outside or use a little heat gun or blow dryer, and that will ensure that the paint will stay on. So that's probably good enough. Then I'm also going to use this fabric medium and just put a little bit of that right there in the middle. And then just, so on this particular shoe, these are my new art shoes. I know they're not big, they're like kid sizes, but that's my foot.
You got little feet.
I got tiny little feet. Now, what I have found works best for me is that if there's like a goober on there, put that over here. If I paint my design, if I'm using a black canvas, I'm going to use white paint underneath my design. And that way I ensure that my paint will pop, and that you'll see all the colors that you want to see, and that it's not got that like dark black. So I'm just going to do a little artist palette, and we're just going to bring that around. At this point, I don't care that it's bleeding out a little bit, because I am going to go over that again, and I'm going to just make sure that I use that edge, or I can go back in with black paint and just clean it up. So we're just going to do like one of those little fun artist palettes. And it'll probably have a hole about here to hold it, right? You have those little holes for the artist to hold it. And I'm going to get right in there and just scrub a little of that white paint on there. And you see that how gray it is? Well, that gray is kind of what you're trying to prevent, because if you do that with yellow and then you're going like, well, I really wanted that to be a brighter yellow. And then if it doesn't get brighter, it's because you probably didn't put enough white behind it.
So by putting the white underneath it, the yellow will be brighter.
Exactly, all of the colors will be brighter. So unless you want the gray, and then you can do shades of gray, which is a lot of fun, where you just use the white paint to create certain shades of gray. And I've actually done some zombie shoes that were, all it was shades of gray.
What are zombie shoes?
They're shoes like this, but with zombies on them.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. What's fun about these shoes is that you can give them away as gifts, and you can customize them to the things that your people like. And so let's say you've got a Golden Knights fan, you can make your own Golden Knights shoes. All right, so that's the fun part. And I keep dipping back into my fabric medium, because that's what's going to actually help it adhere to the canvas and not get crackly and break off of the shoe.
So you're using acrylic paint and a fabric medium and water? And water.
All right. So let's get through this real quick so I'm going to hurry a little bit. Even though it's maybe not my best work, that's okay. You'll get the idea, right?
Well, it's kind of hard to do it in a couple minutes on TV.
Exactly. That's okay. So now I'm going to just take a little brown, where you can see I'm going to start getting that kind of brown sense of palette, and I'm going to leave some holes. So I'm going to have like an area for my yellow, maybe an orange or red, green and a blue. All right. So I'm just going to fill those in. with our brown. It's going to take a little bit more time, but you can see, probably like our guest Delia, or Merle, sorry about that, forgot there for a minute what's going on. She paints on the leather, and it gets kind of, you're brushing it, and you can actually feel the fibers in the canvas. And I bet she feels that when she's doing her like rough leather.
Well, she must, because that rough leather is really rough. It's like hair on the actual leather almost.
Right. So I'm just going to, you know, show you kind of what's going on here. I don't want to take forever, but we'll do a couple of these brighter colors. So I'm going to mix a little of my white and the yellow just to ensure that I've got enough white that yellow is going to pop. And we're going to make that look like a little blob of paint. All right. Maybe we'll make a little orange here. Color theory, you know, it's always a good thing to know.
Yes, mix your two basic colors, what, red and yellow, and you get orange.
Yep. I'm going to add a little bit of fabric medium, a little white, and then we're going to do our little blob there. But really, the trick is, the most important thing for anybody that's going to do shoe painting to remember is that you really need to use the fabric medium, because that keeps it flexible, so that when you're walking and bend the shoe, you don't get that crackly
crack in the paint.
Yeah, exactly. So that's like the most important thing. And then second to that is making sure that you cure it, which is making sure that it gets nice and hot before you wear them. And then you don't even have to put on like a fabric spray. You know, what's that stuff called that you
Like
put
a
on?
varnish?
Like the stuff for your couch.
Oh,
You know what I'm talking? Scotch Guard.
Yeah,
Scotch Guard. Yep. So you don't have to use Scotch Guard. So now what I would do is I just go back in and start filling in the rest of my browns, add whatever other colors I might want to do, and that is how you paint a shoe.
Okay. Welcome back, and thank you. Thank you for that beautiful demonstration. We absolutely loved it. Now I'm going to have to get you to paint me some shoes.
Well, or I can help you paint your own.
Oh, I guess you could do that.
That's right.
You're a very good teacher. She's a very good teacher, so if you ever want some really good art lessons, this is a place to go.
Well, thank you. I've been practicing.
So it was a fun show. It was
and Merle was great. I mean, it was interesting to hear more about her life and painting on cows, which is still like a thing for me. You know, it's like leather, huh? You know, but it's actually very interesting and with
beautiful what she did.
Well, and the different effects. You've got this more slick leather, and then you've got the rough leather, and she's painting on both of them. So you know, that's kind of cool.
That's not easy to do.
No.
That's not at all easy to do. And I just really enjoyed having her here, because she really is a legend in our state for all of the things she's done for the art world, and it was a real pleasure to get to spend some time with her.
Yeah, awesome.
And thank you for spending time with us. We really appreciate it, and we'll see you next time.
Thank you.